Welcome to Lesson 5.2 of the Grant Architect course. In this lesson, we take a deep dive into the SMART framework for writing objectives. SMART has become the gold standard for objective construction in grant writing, providing clear criteria for evaluating whether objectives are properly formulated. By the end of this lesson, you will understand each component of SMART in depth and be able to evaluate any objective against these criteria. SMART is an acronym representing 5 criteria for well-constructed objectives. Specific means the objective is clear and well-defined, no ambiguity about what you intend to accomplish. Measurable means the objective is quantifiable with metrics. You can determine whether you achieved it. Achievable means the objective is realistic and attainable. Given your resources and constraints, success is possible. Relevant means the objective connects to goals and funder priorities. It matters in the context of your proposal. Time-bound means the objective has a defined deadline. You know when results are expected. Each criterion contributes to objective quality. Objectives meeting all 5 criteria are properly constructed. Specific objectives have clear targets identifying exactly what will change, not improve outcomes but reduce emergency room visits. Specificity removes doubt about what you are measuring. Defined population specifies who will be affected, not people in the community but low-income adults ages 18 to 64 in our service area. Know exactly who your objective addresses. Action-oriented language uses precise action verbs: increase, decrease, achieve, complete, provide, train. Verbs indicate what action will occur. No ambiguity means readers understand exactly what you mean. If 2 reviewers could interpret your objective differently, it is not specific enough. Test by asking whether anyone could misunderstand. Testing for specific involves asking key questions. The what question asks what exactly will be accomplished. Can you describe the result in concrete terms? If descriptions are vague, the objective is not specific. The who question asks who specifically will be affected. Is the population clearly defined? Can you identify who counts as achieving this objective? The which question asks which indicators will change. What specific measure will demonstrate success? Naming the indicator adds specificity. The revision strategy adds detail until ambiguity disappears. If your objective could mean different things to different people, keep adding precision. When everyone would understand it the same way, it is specific enough. Measurable objectives have quantified targets expressed as numbers, percentages, rates, or scores. Not improve but increase by 20%. Not more participants but 300 participants. Quantity matters. Data sources identify methods for collecting information. How will you know if you achieved the objective? What records, surveys, or assessments will provide evidence? Baseline established means the current state is known for comparison. If you want to increase something by 15%, you need to know the starting point. Without baseline, you cannot measure change. Verification possible means evidence can prove achievement. At project end, you can definitively determine whether the objective was met. Ambiguous objectives cannot be verified. Testing for measurable involves asking quantification questions. The how much question asks what quantity indicates success. Is there a number, percentage, or rate in your objective? If not, how will you measure it? The how many question asks what count you will achieve. For service delivery objectives, how many people, sessions, or products. Counts make objectives measurable. The evidence question asks what data will prove achievement. Can you identify the specific data source that will verify results? If evidence is unclear, measurement is unclear. The revision strategy adds numbers and data sources. If your objective lacks quantification, insert specific metrics. If data sources are unclear, specify how you will collect evidence. Achievable objectives are supported by adequate resources. The budget, staff, facilities, and partnerships required to achieve the objective must be in place. If resources are insufficient, the objective is not achievable. Capacity sufficient means your organization can deliver. You have the expertise, systems, and track record to accomplish what you propose. New organizations may need more modest objectives. Evidence-based means similar programs have achieved similar results. If no program has ever achieved what you propose, reviewers will be skeptical. Base targets on evidence from comparable efforts. Challenge appropriate means ambitious but not impossible. Achievable does not mean easy. Good objectives stretch your capacity while remaining within reach. The sweet spot is challenging but realistic. Testing for achievable involves reality checking your targets. The resource question asks whether you have what you need. Review your budget, staffing, and partnerships. Are they sufficient for the objective? If not, either get more resources or reduce the target. The capacity question asks whether your organization can actually do this. Be honest about your capabilities. Past performance is the best predictor of future success. The evidence question asks whether others have achieved similar results. Research comparable programs. What targets did they achieve? Your targets should be consistent with evidence. The revision strategy adjusts targets to match reality. If analysis reveals your target is unrealistic, lower it to something achievable. Overpromising and underdelivering damages credibility more than modest achievable targets. Relevant objectives are goal-aligned, supporting stated goals. Each objective should clearly contribute to goal achievement. If the connection is unclear, the objective may not be relevant. Funder-aligned means matching funder priorities and strategic plan. Funders fund what they care about. Objectives should connect to their stated interests. Review funder documents for priority areas. Need-aligned means addressing documented community needs. Your needs assessment identified problems. Objectives should address those problems. Unconnected objectives are not relevant. Mission-aligned means fitting organizational purpose. Objectives should make sense for your organization. If an objective would be strange for your organization to pursue, it may not be relevant to include. Testing for relevant involves examining connections. The why question asks why this objective matters. Can you articulate the importance? If you struggle to explain why it matters, relevance may be weak. The connection question asks how this supports the goal. The link between objective and goal should be clear. If you have to explain the connection, strengthen it. The funder question asks whether this aligns with funder priorities. Review funder materials. Does your objective address their stated interests? Misaligned objectives are less competitive. The revision strategy strengthens connections or removes the objective. If an objective is marginally relevant, either strengthen its connection to goals and priorities or replace it with something more relevant. Time-bound objectives have deadlines defined with specific dates or timeframes for completion, by December 31st of year 2 or within 18 months of project start. Specificity creates accountability. Grant period aligned means achievable within the funded period. If your grant is 3 years, objectives should be achievable in 3 years. Objectives extending beyond the grant period are problematic. Milestones identified means progress checkpoints along the way. For multi-year objectives, when will you assess progress? Interim milestones enable course correction. Accountability created means the timeline enables oversight. Funders and evaluators can assess whether you are on track. Without time bounds, accountability is impossible. Testing for time bound involves timeline questions. The when question asks when this will be accomplished. Is there a date, month, quarter, or year specified? If timing is vague, the objective is not time-bound. The duration question asks how long it will take. Understanding duration helps assess whether the timeline is realistic. Very ambitious outcomes in short time frames may not be achievable. The progress question asks how you will track progress. If the objective takes 2 years, how will you know if you are on track at 1 year? Progress indicators matter. The revision strategy adds specific dates and milestones. If your objective lacks time specification, add it. Replace vague time frames with specific dates or periods. Smart in action shows the transformation from weak to strong objectives. Before, we will help students succeed in school. This is vague, unmeasurable, and not time-bound. It sounds nice but commits to nothing verifiable. After, by June 2026, 85% of 200 enrolled students will achieve grade-level reading proficiency as measured by standardized assessment. This is smart. Analysis confirms all criteria are met. Specific, grade-level reading proficiency. Measurable, 85% of 200 students measured by standardized assessment. Achievable, based on evidence from similar programs. Relevant, directly addresses educational success. Time-bound, by June 2026. The difference is between a verifiable commitment and a vague aspiration. Funders can hold you accountable to the SMART version. Here is a practical exercise to apply what you have learned. Step 1. Write an objective for your program. Draft an initial objective for a program you know. Do not worry about perfection in the first draft. Step 2. Evaluate against each SMART criterion. Go through each letter. Is it specific enough, truly measurable, actually achievable, clearly relevant, properly time-bound? Step 3. Identify which criteria are not fully met. Most first drafts fail one or more criteria. Be honest about weaknesses. Common problems are missing numbers or vague timeframes. Step 4. Revise until all 5 criteria are satisfied. Address each weakness systematically. Add specificity, quantification, realistic targets, clear connections, and explicit timelines. Keep revising until all criteria are met. Let us summarize the key points from this lesson. The SMART framework provides 5 criteria for well-constructed objectives. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound together define what makes an objective verifiable and useful. Each letter matters because all 5 criteria must be satisfied. An objective that is specific and measurable but not achievable is still flawed. Meeting 4 of 5 criteria is not sufficient. Testing questions help evaluate each criterion. Asking what, how much, can we, why does this matter, and when provides systematic evaluation. Questions reveal weaknesses that need addressing. In our next lesson, we will conduct a writing workshop focused on editing weak objectives into SMART ones. You will see real examples of transformation from vague to precise objectives.